What is going on, guys? It's your boy the Death Smasher, finally back again with another video after a nice week of vacation, and now I'm back into making YouTube videos. So today's video is going to be something completely different because I want to be able to compensate for not being able to make any character predictions for the 4th anniversary, and it's kind of pointless to do them now since the majority of people have already done it. So I figured I may as well do something completely different. We're going to be ranking every single power character in the game into a tier list. And how I made this tier list, I made it in S, A, B, C, D, and F. So let me just go ahead and summarize them. S is God tier, A is amazing tier, B is usable, single player and co-op, C, usable, single player plus IZ and droplet zone, solo only, so keep that in mind, it's only solo for his IZ and droplet zone. D, usable, single player only, not including droplet zone, inheritance zone, and F, completely unusable. So we're going to be basically rounding up every character one by one and basically rank them together. So starting off with Frenzy Byakuya, I'd say that he's actually unusable. Why I say he is unusable is because he has extremely low stats, only a 10% bruiser and a 10% berserker, making him just an overall bad character to even bring into a 5-star raid. The least you can really bring him onto is a 4-star raid, but even then, just because of the fact that he has really low multipliers, doesn't really make him a bit usable. Like, I'm sorry, but why 10% bruiser and 10% berserker? It's just beyond me, I'm sorry. Frenzy Orihime. Unlike Byakuya, I'm going to rank him a bit higher than Byakuya. However, she's going to be only on the D tier just because she still suffers from the fact that she has low stats just like Byakuya. But here's the thing, she has at least better multipliers than Byakuya, like having at least a 20% bruiser, 30% berserker. So she in that department is actually going to do a bit better than Byakuya. So keep that in mind. Now next on the list is the OG Reikenpachi. And this guy right here, I'm going to mainly put him into C. Now, you guys are going to question why. Like, okay, I get it. He has flurry, he has poise, he's really good in all, even after getting his resurrection. But here's the thing, he doesn't have sprinter. So he's going to be a really slow character. And it's just mainly going to be relegated as a link because he only has last ditch survival plus strong attack damage. And really, when it comes to normal attack damage characters without sprinter, it really does hurt because you gotta dodge a lot, and because you don't have sprinter, it makes dodging even harder. If it were for the fact that he had sprinter, I'd actually bring him up to B tier, but because of that, I'm sorry, but Kenpachi is gonna be staying at C. Next up is this Ichigo. Now, before the resurrection, he was pretty bad. I'd actually put him on unusable. But after he got his resurrection, I'm going to be honest here. I'd actually put him up to either D or C. However, he still lacks a good killer, so I'm gonna have to put him into D because he has hybrid stats between 640, 650 of both SP attack with a 30% bruiser and 30% berserker. But the fact alone that he lacks a lot of range in his strong attacks, being an older character, and the fact that he has a captain killer, just kind of really doesn't make him the best character to use, since he is the ultimate all-rounder after all. Because really, he's just only relegated for weaker stuff, which is sad. Sajin, on the other hand, I'd actually put him onto C too. He does have Frenzy, he has Sprinter, but the thing about him is that he has really low stats and doesn't have a lot of range in his strong attacks. So other than that, he's going to stay up at C. He is an older character after all, so it's to be expected. This OG Genryusai also is going to be going up to C because his stats are actually a bit decent. He has a 50% bruiser and a 40% berserker, and as a strong attack recharge link, but really, he's an OG character. There's not much to say, but he is going to stay at C, so Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now this Toshiro right here, I'm gonna be honest with you. No. Just no. He's unusable. I'm sorry. Just do not even bother using him. Like, just don't. Save yourself the time and effort. Now this Renji right here, I'm gonna be honest here. I'm also gonna rank him up to C tier because he does have at least frenzy. He has okay stats, but again, because he's an OG character, he will not have a lot of things going for him. So you guys have to at least keep that in mind. Now here, excuse the duplicate Hioris that I have right here. Just this was a little problem that I encountered while trying to get my hands on trying to make the tier list. So Hiyori, I'm gonna have to put her also on C. She also has frenzy. She has good hybrid stats. 20% bruiser with a 40% with a 20 nav blink, making her an overall really decent character to bring into single player quests and whatnot. So yeah, this Ikaku right here, I'm also gonna have to rank him onto D because, well, he doesn't have frenzy, he doesn't have flurry, he only has hybrid stats in the end. So that's all there is to it about this Ikaku, in my overall opinion. He's just not that amazing, unfortunately. Vice Ichigo, I'm gonna have to put him also onto C because, well, don't get me wrong, he is actually a bit better compared to these guys. He actually has frenzy, but the thing that actually hurts him a bit is the fact that he has a spotter killer. However, you can still bring into stuff like inheritance zone, droplet zone, whatnot. So in that department, he is still completely viable. Chad also onto C. Again, these are all older units, frenzy, low stats, whatnot. Noitora as well. Even though he did get a good resurrection, he still deserves to at least get up there. Valentine's Day Yachiru, also the same thing. Really, there's not much to say. She also has frenzy. This Shuhei, unfortunately, I'm going to put him onto D. These are really old characters, okay? So this is why they're kind of being ranked really low. Lisa, also on D. Because, man, there's just so many characters that they're so freaking old. But, yeah. Now, this Halle Bell, she did get a good resurrection. She got, well, I mean, she already had frenzy to begin with and good stats, but she's still going to go onto C. The reason why I do not put her onto B is because she actually still lacks a good killer and has Captain Killer. Rimjow, on the other hand, he's only going to be useful for single player. He does not have flurry, so don't expect anything crazy from him. Momo, this one, also going to go on C. She does have frenzy, good killer. Dondo Chaka, only single player. I'm going to be honest here. He at least has, I think he has good stats in multipliers. I don't know, but overall, that's just how I'm going to rank him. Soifon, just completely unusable. The reason why she's completely unusable is because she has no good killer, she has no bruiser, no berserker. She's just all stats, really, and just a recharge link at best. Like, she's just by far one of the worst 6-stars in the game at this moment. Zabimaru, I'm gonna be honest here, he also has low multipliers and low stats, but he at least has a killer going for him. So I'm gonna have to put him onto single player only because he's not the best character to, I mean, they are not the best character to bring in because they do have low multipliers, but because they have a really good attack stat of 650 and at least have a bruiser and a killer, they're somewhat usable for a single player. But that's just about it. Tobiume, single player only. I'm sorry, but this bitch also has really low multipliers and stats, but she does have a higher attack stat, but I don't know, man. She's just not that good. Baragan, completely unusable. I'm sorry, but already the fact that he has Captain Killer, it's not gonna save this man. Like, it just won't. Ugh, it's just how it is. I'm sorry. Up next, we'll go and bring in this Shinji. I'm also gonna have to give him single player only because he only has a 20% berserker and no bruiser. He's just an overall recharge link, but does have I believe Hollow Killer or Ronker Killer. I do not remember. He's only stats, just He's just not a good character. Now, finally, we're going to be getting to some of the good characters. Tag Team Byakuya, I'm going to have to put him up to B rank. He's actually at least usable in co-op, because he has a Rancor and a Spada Killer, has Frenzy, good attack stat, good SP. He's a decent character to bring. I won't lie, like, you can actually use this character in IZ, Inheritance Zone, Extreme Co-op. He's at least usable for those of you guys that have him. Dinta, single player only. I mean, it's a Metal Exchange character. What did you expect? Christmas Zalaparo, also on single player only for D, because he just doesn't have a lot of good things going for him. Like, he has a good attack stat, but only has a 20% bruiser. He has a 40% berserker. That being said, I don't remember what his strong attack, what his link is, unfortunately. But he has a really low stats. It goes under 600, so he's not that good. I'm sorry. Kaseshini, on the other hand, I'm gonna have to put him on to single player only. Like, I wouldn't clarify him as co-op based yet, because he doesn't have a higher bruiser. Like, I think he only has a 25% bruiser. But he does have a good attack stat. But that being said, I won't bring him onto co-op. He's just really good for single player. The Lost Agent Rukia, also single player only. Man, my god, what are these single player only characters? So many of them are just so bad. I'm sorry. Rose, same thing. Like, really the only reason... Actually, wait, hold on, let me think. Yeah, he's gonna stay here. The only reason why these characters are actually being ranked a bit higher is because they actually have a bit better stats compared to these older characters. They don't have Frenzy or Flurry, but with a nice build, you can actually bring them into them just fine, because they at least have killers. Like, Rukia has Hollow Killer, and Rose has Oranka Killer. Like, they're somewhat usable, but really only for single player. Now, Isane, this character is going to be completely different, because Isane does have the same problem as Rukia and Rose, where they don't have Frenzy or Flurry for that matter. But here's the thing. She's going to go into single player and co-op. The reason why I put her there to begin with is because of the fact that she has Medic and can heal her teammates, making her a really good co-op character. So you can choose to build her Nad Sad, and she'll work decently in co-op despite being a weak character. So overall, she's still an okay character. Uryu, on the other hand, don't get me wrong, he has a good attack stat, good bruiser with a 25 Nad link, but I'm gonna be honest here. I'm sorry, but his normal attack damage string isn't all that good. It's tiny, it doesn't penetrate through. He's not a good co-op character. But now we're gonna be finally getting into some of the better characters. Noitora Jilga is another character that has Flurry. But here's the thing. Unlike Kenny right here, Noitora has Adrenaline, Sprinter, and Flurry. Only thing he lacks is just Poise. So, where is he going to go up to? He's going to go into Amazing tier. So he's already the first good character to actually bring into both single player and co-op, and already do amazing in and of itself, despite his attack stat being 657. But Flurry changes everything, so that's to keep in mind. Yoruichi now. This character is godly. This character is actually godly. She may be somewhat outdated for PvE and whatnot, but she has Oranka Killer, she has Long Stride, she has Frenzy. Although her special isn't full screen, she's still good. Amazing for guild quests, so she's gonna go directly into, I'm gonna say God tier, because she is still gonna be very usable in PvE co-op, so she gets up there pretty damn easily. Now, Swimsuit Nemu, I'm gonna have to put her into B tier, just because, again, she's a healer. She has hybrid stats and skills, making her really decent for co-op. So, she's a lot better than Isane in terms of actually healing. So, Yeah, she actually takes the cake from this one. Mila Rose. Usable, B, single player and co-op. She has friends, she has good stats. She has a decent kit as well. She's kind of underrated, that's all. Zenosuke. Single player only. I'm sorry, but this is a metal exchange character, okay? What were you guys expecting? Tag Team Ichigo. This unit is by far one of the best power units in the game because he has Frenzy, he has a 30% bruiser, high SP, and what's more, he has Soul Reaper and Aranka Killer, making him an excellent character to bring into co-op, PvE, and he's basically the IZ destroyer of it. Just because of the fact that he has Double Killer makes him a really good character worth bringing. And keep in mind that getting a dupe of him at 6-star level 1 will also be a good advantage for Guild Quest since he's second strong attack as a elongated vortex, which is big, gathers a lot of enemies, and is a 50 hit vortex. So Ichigo goes into God tier directly. Amazing unit, amazing unit. 1000-Year Blood War Toshiro. He is by far one of the fastest characters in the game, has Hollow Killer, and it's just an overall really good unit. So let's bring him up there. He has strong attack, recharge, frenzy, debilitating freeze on all of his attacks. He inflicts weakened defense as well. And overall, he just has really fast activation times. That's just how good this unit is. Now the Senna, excuse me. Now we have Halloween Yoru. Now we have Halloween Soifun, who is by far the very first actual good power Soifun in the game, and is actually the only good power Soifun you'll actually get. She has Frenzy, she has 4 flash taps. Her soul trait kind of does hinder her because she has, I believe, stamina recovery. Yeah, that's what she has. She has stamina recovery, and she does have a boost move. So I'm gonna be honest here. She's good in Guild Quest, but I'm gonna have to put her into A tier because she does have an excellent kit. She has a boost move, but the one thing that kind of makes her a bit lacking is the fact that she has, well, she pretty much has a shafted soul trait and not recharge because she has a boost move and whatnot. Next up is Senna. Senna's actually a really good character. She's ranged. However, I'm gonna have to put her into A tier as well, just because, well, her strong attacks take a good amount of time to activate, and we also have a better character that is better than Senna that shares the same kit as her and is overall better, which you guys will see in just about a minute. Next on the list, we will be getting Kaku, single player only. Again, metal exchange character. What were you guys expecting? Christmas Riruka, who is also the only other power human in the game aside from Jackie. So where is she going to go into? A tier. She's a good character, don't get me wrong, but we kind of have better Soul Reaper killers in the game as of today. There's just so many of them. I already know how she plays, and I don't know what to say. I really don't remember much other than how she plays. She does have Frenzy, so she is still going to be useful in co-op, so that's to at least keep in mind. Up next, we have the 1000-Year Blood War Yachiru. And I'm gonna be honest here, she's not that much of a good character. Look, just don't bring her into co-op, okay? Because she has a Spada killer when she never even have Spadas. The only thing that is redeeming of her is the fact that she has Bombardment, so she'll be able to nuke with her special and do crazy amount of damage. But she only has like 30% Bruiser and 40% Berserker, which already in and of itself hurts this character a lot. She doesn't have Frenzy. She's just not a good character to take into co-op. Now, up next, we have Nanao. Nanao, I'm going to have to put her into B tier, because she is also a good healer and has a good killer. She has, I believe, a Ronka killer. However, the only good thing that she has is the fact that she heals on her second strong attack and has bombardment. So she's already a better nuker than 1000-year Blood Warrior Yachiru, having killer and a 30% bruiser and berserker. But that's it. She only has a 30% bruiser and a 40% berserker, not making this character excellent for co-op. So she's basically going to be staying all the way up into B tier. Up next, we have Yin Yang, who is a really good non-flurry character. They will be able to auto single-player quests just fine for power. They have Soul Reaper killer. They're no affiliation killer, which means that almost everything in the game, they are just not going to be easily killed for PvE, making them really good characters. And if I were to be honest, I'd actually classify them as A tier. They're just that good. However, there's just better characters that just don't really make these units really worth summoning for, unfortunately. Up next, we have the 20DR Myut. I'm also gonna have to put him into A tier because he has a really good kit. He has debilitating poison on everything and has frenzy. That's just what makes him really good. The one thing that kind of makes him a bit lackluster is the fact that he has his strong attacks. Mainly his strong attack 1 doesn't cover a lot of range, and the fact that he has a damage reduction link. So for most of the part, you're mainly going to be using him just for being a damage reduction link for Weaken or Noitora if you even use him in PvP, or Can't Fear Your Own World Nil. Up next on the list, 1000-year Blood War Renji. This guy, while he is not as flashy as Armored Yoruichi, he still has an amazing kit and has a Ronker killer and has insta-kill on his special. He just is an amazing unit. I'm gonna have to put him onto S tier directly because he has fast activation times with his strong attacks, really good, amazing kit, and it's just an overall really good co-op character to bring this character into. And when he came out, he actually had the second highest SP in the game, sitting right next to Aizen, making him that much of a good character. Up next, Tag Team Yama. Now this character is actually really good. He is ranged, he has Soul Reaper and Hollow Killer, has Frenzy, Fire Immunity. I'm gonna have to put him into God tier despite the fact that he is not amazing for Guild Quest, but he still destroys IC and Inheritance Zone. He still destroys IC and Droplet Zone and even Extreme Co-op just because of the fact that he has double killer. Soul Reaper and Hollow Killer just make this character really devastating. Up next we have Hell vs Ichigo, or Skullclad Ichigo. I'm gonna have to classify him onto, unfortunately, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this one, but I'm gonna have to classify him onto B tier. The only reason why he gets classified onto B tier is because of the fact that, okay, Ichigo has a higher attack stat than Noitora. He has a 50% bruiser with a 25 normal attack damage link, and has a Hollow Killer, which technically, in and of itself, makes him much more powerful than Noitora. So why did I actually make this character into B tier? Reason is lack of range in his normal attacks. And this is something that also Can't Fear Your Own World Noitora has. But the reason why I'm going to be classifying Ichigo into B is because he also does not have poise, making him an which just hurts the character even more. I'm sorry, but this is how underwhelming this Ichigo is. I don't think he's a bad character. He's a good character, but the thing about him is, he's just not amazing. That's all I'm gonna say. He's just not amazing. Like, the fact that he lacks long reach just doesn't really make him an amazing character. Up next, we have Movie 3 Kisuke. from Fade to Black, and I'm gonna have to classify him as A tier because, okay, he doesn't hit as harder as Ichigo, but here's the thing: he is ranged. Even though his normal attack damage string does not penetrate through, he still has Hollow Killer. He still is gonna be hitting hard with those normal attack damage strings, and has a 50% bruiser, so you can technically stack it up to a good high percentage. So even though he doesn't hit hard as Ichigo, he still is somewhat better than Ichigo. So he takes the win on that part. Up next, we have Swimsuit Orihime. And immediately, she's going to go into God tier, just because of the fact that she basically does what Hellverse Kisuke and, what Hellverse Ichigo and Fate to Black Kisuke doesn't. She is a ranged normal attack damage character, okay? She has a 40% bruiser with a 30% berserker, a full stamina damage boost of 20% with a good attack stat of 750, and a decent SP of 620. But hold on, here's the big kicker. Her second strong attack gives herself shields and has bombardment. So this is a very good character that you're going to want to bring into PvE and in co-op. And her normal attack damage is no joke either, because it has a really good reach. It penetrates through, making her an even more godly character. Like, when Swimsuit came out, I have to say that this character was immediately the best character of the banner. And I'm glad I got her. So yeah, that's Swimsuit Orihime for you. Up next, we have the Senkaimon Aizen, and I'm gonna have to put him into B tier. Now, don't get me wrong, Senkaimon Aizen, he's actually very good and usable because he has a 741 SP. But here's the kicker: he only has a Spada Killer, and he only has a 60% Berserker. Plus the 20% strong attack damage link, plus the 20% full stamina damage boost. So technically, he already has Frenzy. But the thing that makes him usable is the fact that he can heal. He is a really good healer and has weakening on all of his attacks. But the thing that really hinders him is the fact that he lacks a good killer. But that being said, this character is still a really good character to bring for co-op, so he's going to be classified onto B rank. This will be pretty much classified for every single Senkaizen in the game if I decide to do Tech, Speed, Heart, or Mind. Up next is Anniversary Ulquiorra. And I have to say right now, he's going into God tier. Okay? Look, he may lack a good killer. He may lack Soul Reaper killer. He may lack a Ronka killer. He may lack Hollow killer. And he has no affiliation killer, okay? But the thing that makes him really good is the fact that he has a really high SP. 769 SP. He's got Frenzy. He's got Poise. He's got a bruiser of 20%. But hold on, here's the kicker. He has a charged third strong attack, just like this Renji. And his second strong attack gives himself barrier and boosts. And he also has Enhancer, making the boost last for at least up to 20 seconds. Making him an excellent character for co-op and PvE. And is by far one of the best power units in the game as of today. Making him that much of an impressive unit. Now, up next we have Tatsuki. It's a metal exchange character. What were you thinking? But then again, she does have a boost, so I'm gonna have to put her on to C tier, just because, at least because of the boost, you'll be getting a bit more benefits with your normal attacks. So I'm gonna be real with you here. You can actually bring her into a single player harder quests, but only because of the fact that she has a boost move. I don't know if she has Enhancer, so I don't know about that. But she, at least because of the fact that she has a boost, she fits into that category. Now, Jackie, where would I rank her exactly? I'm gonna rank her onto A tier. She too also has a boost move, has an enhancer, and she also has Hollow Killer. But the thing about her is that she's actually a bit slower compared to the likes of 1,000 Year Blood War Toshiro, and isn't as strong as Anniversary Ukiura. However, she still is a good character to bring into co-op and PvE, so if you guys get this character, she's not just as 25% strong attack damage range, she's actually pretty good. Next up is Tag Team Amida. I'm gonna have to put him into B tier. Now, that being said, this guy is actually decent, even though I really do not like him. He has Bombardment, he has a 30% Bruiser, wait, no, excuse me, he has a 40% Bruiser and a 30% Berserker, and a really shit low stamina damage boost, so I don't know why the fuck they had to give him that. But it is what it is. Other than that, he has Soul Reaper and Captain Killer, making him very useful in co-op, so you can at least be able to use him in that department. And is an overall decent character for bombing new rooms. And he even has a Vortex on his second strong attack, making him at least decent. Excuse the background noise just recently. Next up is Halloween Hallibell. I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna have to give her S tier, just because of the fact that she is good in PvP, she is good in PvE and co-op, and the fact of the matter is that she has Poise, damage reduction, and a 50% Bruiser with Soul Reaper Killer, so she already is going to be doing a bit more damage than Noitora and has a higher attack stat than him. So overall, she's just an overall good unit, even though she is now a damage reduction link for Kenpachi. Now, up next we have Spirit Society Rukia, easily S tier. She's good, amazing unit with a really good kit. I remember that I think she has a third strong attack that's similar to Kokuto's, and she has a moving vortex. I just don't remember what her first strong attack is, but she's gonna easily fit into S tier directly. Up next is Aizen, the new red one. He's immediately going into S tier, because he is just as good as 1,000 Year Blood War Toshiro. Only difference is that he is ranged, has weakening on all of his attacks, and is just an overall amazing unit to bring into co-op, Inheritance Zone, PvE. He's just an amazing unit. He has a really fast activation time, good kit, and it's the overall reason. And he shares the exact same kit as Senna, making him that much of a better unit than Senna. I'm sorry, Senna, but you're really outdated and you're just not worth summoning anymore, which is sad, but meh. Okay, next character, we have the New Year's Hanataro. He's going into A tier directly. He is by far one of the best healers in the game, even though he's a damage reduction link, but he has Medic, he can heal, he has Frenzy, a Ronker Killer, and has a good SP. So, yeah, even though he should be on God tier, but the thing that kind of hinders him is the fact that he has damage reduction, just like Myut. But he's still a good character regardless. Up next is Karakuraiser, or Cone, or however you want to call him. D. I'm sorry, I just don't think highly of no exchange characters. So, yeah. Up next is the new Red Kaien. And I have to say, this unit is actually pretty good. But overall, I'm just going to have to put him into A tier just because he doesn't have a really good strong attack on his first one. Because it's a ranged collision base attack and doesn't hit very far. Unlike the likes of Aizen, Spirit Society, Rukia, and doesn't inflict any status ailments. But he does have weakened defense, which is almost enough to get him into S tier, but again, he also has the first strong attack that kind of hinders him. Which is sad to say the truth, but it is what it is. Up next is Weaken. He's easily God tier. He's just amazing for PvE and co-op. He has weakening on every single attack. He is just a really good unit to bring into PvE. Like, can I say that much about him? Like, he has debilitating weakening on all of his attacks. He has the highest attack in the game. Flurry, Poise, damage reduction. Overall, just a really good unit. Now, up next, we have Jushiro. And where am I going to put him? I'm going to have to decide for a moment, because I'm kind of indecisive about this Jushiro, whether to put him into S tier or A tier. But if I'm going to be completely honest, I'm going to have to give him S tier. Just because he unlike Hanataro, he will actually hit even harder with his strong attacks because of the full stamina damage boost that he has on his soul trait of 25%, making him that much of an amazing unit to bring into PvE and co-op. Now, he may be a bit slow in Guild Quest, but he is still an amazing unit regardless. Like, he heals, he hits hard, and it's just an overall really good unit. Up next is Can't Fear Your Own World, Nell. Easily S tier, because she is by far one of the best power Aranker units in the game. She has an 80% bruiser. She's just as good as Weaken and has debilitating weakening on everything. And to top it all off, has Aranker Killer, making her that much of a devastating unit to bring into PvE. And is by far one of the best Can't Fear Your Own World characters to have come out so far, alongside Hikone and Noitora, also Yami, now that I think about it. And now we're kind of heading off to, we have two more characters left, being the past Retsu and the new white Ichigo. And past Retsu, I'm gonna have to classify her also into S tier. The reason why I classify her into S tier is because of the fact that she has Laceration on her special and her third strong attack. She has an 80 bruiser with a 20% normal attack damage link, automatically giving her Flurry. And to top it all off, she also has Hollow Killer and a really good attack stat of 762, just like Can't Fear Your Own World Nell. And her is ranged, her normal attack damage pierces through. She's just an overall amazing unit. Really good unit, and for those of you guys who have her, I highly advise using her, because she's just that much of a good unit. And now the final red unit has to be white Ichigo, and unfortunately, I'm gonna say this right now, he's going into A tier. Look, if I'm gonna be honest, if I were to get this white Ichigo, I'd honestly link slot him 10-10-10. But the only reason why I put him into A tier is for two factors. For starters, it's his second strong attack. It's very similar to Dark Rukus, even though it's slightly better than hers. It does kind of hinder him, and the fact that his third isn't full screen. Now, if his third strong attack were completely full screen, I'd put him into S tier, because he's good. He has weakening on all of his attacks. But for my favorite character, I just can't do it. I unfortunately cannot do it, which is sad to say the least. So he's gonna stay in A tier. And yeah. Anyways, that was the tier list for all the power characters that have come out into the game. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you guys want to see more of that, let me know, because I personally actually enjoyed making this tier list. I won't lie. Let me know in the comment section if you guys want to see more of this. This has been your boy, the Death Smasher. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.